Hello and good evening, Gary Champion, Psychic Medium. We are having our Go Live healing session Sunday the 28th at 2 o'clock p.m. Central Time. You must be logged in and in the chat room, and when we ask for someone, say your name and we'll pick one, and all the healers that show up will send their energy to you. A little better. I had a strange dream a couple of weeks ago, and I thought it was too stupid to pronounce or say anything about it. So I've had a lot of thought about it, so I'm going to give it to you. It was sort of, I was awake, and it's what they call a daydream. Only I see movies and things like that. Anyway, I saw this large machine, and it was a cartoon. And it was gobbling CO2, carbon dioxide, out of the air. Well, that's pretty good, because that's what's causing the planet heating. Too much CO2. We're producing a lot of it and throwing it out in the air, and it's greater than what plants can help with, and besides, we're cutting down all the rainforest anyway. I see this large machine with blowers, kind of fans on it, and the cartoon is we're eating CO2. So, well, that's pretty neat. Why don't we just make these machines to eat CO2? Undoable? I don't think so. When scientists get a hold of something, they pretty much can tell you whether it's doable or not. Let's say it is doable. Let's say the dream wasn't a fantasy dream, it was a real dream. So we reduce all that in the air. You have to put them everywhere, though. I mean, every good-sized town would have to have one. That's not going to happen. Anyway, follow through with this whole thing. Now the planet isn't warming. People aren't freaking out. The coastal cities aren't flooding, among other things. It's healthier. What do we do with this CO2? Okay, now we've gobbled it. We've got it stored somewhere, somehow. What do we do with it? Can't bury it. I mean, you probably could stick it in something, but eventually it leaks out. Now it's worse than it was before. And these machines have to run on some kind of fuel to gobble the CO2, so that's part of it. Let's say it's wind powered. Say passive wind here in Texas supplies electricity for a lot of things. So we have a wind turbine that drives the carbon eating machine, which reduces hydrocarbons in the air, reducing greenhouse effect, making life livable on our planet for a long time. Who's going to pay for these things? Well, okay, it's a dream. It's more complex than, many people have started out with less. So just before making this video, I typed in, what can you turn carbon dioxide into? And once we have it, we have to do something with it. We can't let it go again. That would negate the purpose of getting it. What can we turn it into that we can use? Right there was the answer. You can react CO2 with water and produce hydrogen. We can drive cars with hydrogen. The byproduct of hydrogen is water. Uh, Once you burn hydrogen in a car, water vapor is what you get. You don't get CO2 or anything else, you get water. It's a big circle. We take CO2 out of the air, stopping the greenhouse effect and the warming of the planet through, this is too much for my brain to even hold up, through gobbling CO2 machines that gobble CO2. And then they convert that into hydrogen, which you can burn in cars, no longer needing oil. Yeah, and I don't know where you're at. These companies are not going to allow it, even if you could do it. Interesting dream, though. And, you know, many times it's true that if you can dream something, you can make it happen. So, is this detrimental in any way? It's not using fossil fuels to gobble the CO2, use wind power. Yeah, they cost money, but you take that CO2 and react it with water and you get hydrogen. Hydrogen you burn in the cars, which again reduces CO2 in the air because all you're getting is water. Maybe you take that water and start all over again. Maybe use that water to react with the CO2 to create the hydrogen. No, I didn't pass chemistry in high school. No idea what the periodic table is, except that it was on the wall. They're playing a song, which usually happens about this time. One thing leads to another. I don't know who wrote it or who sang it. I can hear the tune. I can hum it, but one thing leads to another is the only part of the song that I'm actually hearing. Round and round we go. Where we land, nobody knows. Looking for solutions. A lot of ifs in that. Is it doable? Is there a scientist out there among you who would respond to this YouTube channel saying, yeah, we can do that? Because scientists hate to say no. They will say, yeah, whatever, we've done that in laboratory, or we know how to do that, and the machines aren't a problem, they're easily manufacturable, and we'll keep the cost down. We'll make them out of aluminum, and I don't know, but is it doable? And would it save money? Hell, even if it cost money, save the planet. Polar ice caps melting, all the strange weather we're having. A lot of it is due to the moisture in the air that's come off the polar caps, and now it's in the water and it's evaporating. There's more of it in the air, creating all these strange weather patterns. I'm not making that up. That's scientific. So is the carbon gobbling machine, I'm sure. I'm sure it can be done. All you have to do is tell a scientist to do something and stick him in a laboratory and he'll produce it. He'll make it happen. Someone's still probably working on the perpetual motion machine. Or maybe that actually works. Anyway, we have a Go Live Healing Sunday the 28th, which is day after tomorrow, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Be there or be square. CO2 gobbling machine. You take the CO2, you react it with water, you create hydrogen. You put the hydrogen cells in cars. You can run cars on them. You can run factories on them. You can create electricity instead of using fossil fuels or gas or anything. You can use hydrogen for that. Pretty far-fetched. Anyway, let me know, you brainy people out there. There's no other word to describe people who figure out stuff. They're brainy people. don't care if it's the idea is sellable or not, because the biggest lobby in town is oil and gas. If it were doable, would they allow it? I don't want to know that part of it. I just want to know, is it possible to take CO2, gobble it, put it into tanks, react it with water, create hydrogen, and run cars burning hydrogen instead of gas? What a mess I've created. No fear, no regret, no anger. Thanks for watching.